This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Mall of America's mystery cards are back, and we're bringing them to you all summer long. Come grab yours at KFAN events throughout the summer, wherever you see our KFAN street team. Then make sure to redeem them at Mall of America for fun prizes and big discounts. Full list of events, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Is this Coldplay?
Yeah, is this Coldplay?
Not even close.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right. Still trying to figure that whole thing out. Ron Johnson in studio with me, Nordo. Neither of us have ever been to a Coldplay show.
No.
So, kiss cam, though. And Sports World's running with that, too.
Oh, yeah.
The Phillies, I mean, there was a brilliant bit they did with
StubHub has Coldplay, like, commercials now.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, you know the Vikings are going to have a kiss cam with Victor or something during the season.
It's tough to be...
It's going to keep going.
I mean, we have societally, we've made it so we can kind of, especially now that social media pressure and potential like embarrassing moments are so readily accessible that in some ways we have done a really good job, I think, in our own private lives. Like we can really funnel in and avoid that. But man, that's tough to be known for.
It is.
That is.
I mean, if it's real, this dude lost his CEO job.
Yeah.
You know, his company, the board of directors had to get rid of him. She can't be HR director anymore. Well, maybe. I don't know. We haven't heard about her. Or, you know, her husband's company. You know, like it's just, you know, it's a lot. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
What pumps you up specifically about seeing Justin Jefferson, seeing Jordan Addison?
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, we can dig into, you know, whether he's suspended and what the whole thing looks like with him. But getting to see J.J. McCarthy thrown to those guys, it's going to be, I mean, that's the marquee of camp.
Yeah. So Drake Lindsey, you know, he leaves tomorrow for Big Ten Media Day. And him and Darius Taylor and I think Coy Parrish. And I asked Drake Lindsey about that because he was out at Woodbury High School with Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkins was out there, J.J. McCarthy. And I was like, what did you learn from J.J.?
So he was part of that? All those
Drake
guys
Lindsey
thrown together?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
That's why I jumped on it because C.J. Ham.
Let's go.
That's the first thing. As soon as I saw it, I was like, because I remember taking Tyler Johnson to that when he was in college. And so that's the first thing I did. I texted him right away. I'm like, hey, were you out there? I was like, C.J. Ham, just like, I'm seeing stuff. He's like, yeah, that was me. I was out there with J.J. McCarthy now. I'm like, oh, man. I was like, let's jump on and get you on the podcast. So he'll be on tomorrow. And he shares a lot about like what he saw J.J. McCarthy do. I mean, he literally talks about like something T.J. Hawkinson did. Yeah. He's like, I text PJ and the staff right away. Like, we got to do this with our tight ends, you know, like, and he said without giving too much away. So that's why I was like, don't tell me what it is. Like, let's just wait to the season. Sure. And we'll see if KOC's Hawkinson stuff matches up with your Gopher stuff. Cause they got the tight end from Purdue and we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. But, when you think about J.J. McCarthy, it excites me hearing guys talk about it. Like I had Max Brosmer on this summer. He talked about J.J. McCarthy. I had, Drake Lindsey, you know, last night he and I sat down and chatted about it. He talked about J.J. and he said everything J.J. McCarthy does is not rah, rah, rah. It's here's my action. Here's how I play. He said he does talk a little bit, but he's not like a Patrick Mahomes. You know, it's not like just nonstop or Tom Brady. Nonstop like, oh, I'm going to do this. Watch me spin it. Watch me. He's like, man, he just goes about his day, like, you know, like kind of like John, and he has some hardball-isms, you know, and I laughed and we joked about it because we're like, Drake, you got some fleck-isms. But that's the impact of a head coach. A good head coach can really impact you and have you kind of really understanding how to move and operate. And that's what John Harbaugh's done, or Jim Harbaugh has done with McCarthy. And again, watching him throw, like I've seen him throw, how athletic he is. Because Theo Jackson said the same thing. I was like, man, what is it? And Kobe King, I had Blake Cashman just on too. And they all said the same thing. Like watching him extend plays, you know, not to say Sam Darnold couldn't. It's just JJ does it naturally. He's like, he doesn't let a 7-on-7 rep go without trying something like running, and not across his body, hopefully, but, running, extending the play, understanding if I run to the right, here's what the safeties do. If I run to the left, here's what the linebackers do.
Yeah.
And just getting a feel for NFL speed. And I think that's what excites me, man. It's like, I said this last year when they did the CJ Ham softball tournament, and everybody joked about this. I was like, softball game, sorry. And I was like, JJ McCarthy's a really good shortstop. And I think I probably was on with you guys, and you were like, oh, so you're going to say because he's a good shortstop, he's a good quarterback? And I'm like, there's a correlation to athleticism.
Sure.
And he's athletic. I nothing against Kirk Cousins. I don't think Kirk Cousins can play shortstop. Like, I don't think he would look good at it. I think he'd be okay first baseman, probably. Maybe second base.
He could dig it first. Yeah.
First, second, maybe third because you can stand. No, third, you still got to be athletic too. But JJ McCarthy is super athletic. So that's what excites me. Is that Kevin O'Connell, if you think about naked boots and having that second option where he can run, like Jalen Hurts, that's what excites me. And even Patrick Mahomes. Like, Patrick Mahomes is not fast, but he is athletic. He gets out the pocket, and he can hurt you with his legs if you don't honor him. And that's what I think J.J. McCarthy is going to give the Vikings.
Is it? I mean, that's almost like a natural, instinctual thing.
Correct.
I mean, that's something you mentioned.
And he ran at Michigan.
Yeah, and you mentioned Kirk. I mean, it just takes a lot to get. I mean, technically, he's an athlete, right? And he can. I mean, one of my favorite Kirk Cousins moments was when he needed 6 and he slid after about 4.5 at Arrowhead. Yeah. I think that was 2019.
Yeah.
Or when he beat Marcus Golden of the Cardinals to the near side corner, going left to right, and found his way into the end zone for a rushing TD. But it takes a lot to get him going.
Yeah, it's a download.
You see somebody, and is this becoming more of the norm with the McCarthy, where there is more of that intuitive and instinctual side to his game?
I think so. And again, I think Kirk Cousins is more like, Windows 98. It's going to take a while for him to download. JJ McCarthy has the upgraded software. There's no dial up with him. Like, he's a little bit ahead of athletically than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has a great arm, great quarterback. I'm a Kirk fan. Everybody knows that. But JJ just, like, the way he spins it, the way he throws, and the way that he can throw off platform. We always talked about that.
Yeah.
Kirk kept saying, Kevin O'Connell is showing me how to throw off platform. JJ is like this new era of kid where they practice that stuff because they saw other quarterbacks do it. JJ in college saw Mahomes throwing off the wrong foot. So he's doing it because he was trying to do it. Kirk grew up with, like, Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a thing to throw off the wrong foot. That was faux pas. Don't do that. Don't throw back this. Don't do that. Just dump it off. Get out of bounds. JJ McCarthy is like, make the next play. What's the second play? What's the third play? And I think that's what's the most exciting. And then when you look at the weapons, everybody's back. You got JJ, you got Addison, you got Hawkinson that looks healthy. Like, Hawkinson was out there running routes. He looks like the Hawk of 2 years ago. Like, he looks like, because again, it takes a while for ACL.
Yeah.
And he does look good now. He's moving smooth. And that's the same thing Drake Lindsay said. He said, watching TJ Hawkins, I was like, what about TJ Hawkins? And I didn't say TJ Hawkins. I was talking about the other guys. He was like, no, but man, when you watch Hawkinson, he's like, it's like a receiver. He's like, he's a 6'6", 6'5", 200 and whatever pound receiver. He's like, he's smooth. He gets in and out of breaks. Like, he catches with his hands. And he's a huge target, And so he was like, it was refreshing, he said, to see a tight end move. That he said it was effortless. Really? He wasn't running hard to try to make it. Cause some tight ends, when they pump, they're like Gronk, he was grunting and, it's like Hawkinson's like a big receiver, and more like a Travis Kelce. And I think that's what we had not seen, since the injury. Cause we were all wondering, like, where's that Hawk at that they paid $100 million to, or whatever it was, and I think that's back now.
It is, and you kept mentioning Drake, and he's been on your podcast, which will be sweet to hear. And of course, he takes the reins from Max Brosmer.
Correct. Yep.
But so they get that Roman Voss cat from Jackson County Central, I think.
Yep.
The heartland of Minnesota. Everyone should go down there. But then you mentioned this Purdue cat.
Yep.
I mean, we're rolling heavies on tight ends coming here in 2025?
No, I just think that's the new age of football, 2 tight ends. I mean, honestly, you can go, it's technically 12 personnel, but it's still, you can go 4 wides. If you think about like Travis Kelce with the Chiefs, I guarantee defensive coordinators aren't calling out 11 when he's in the game.
Right.
They're probably calling it something else. We used to call it Tiger because we had faster tight ends in, and then I forgot what the other one's called, Elephant maybe, when they went bigger tight ends. But if you think about like a Tiger package, you can't treat him like a true tight end. You got to treat him like a flex style receiver. So you got to say, I got to leave Josh Metellus in the game. because he has to be able to cover. I can't put nothing against a slower linebacker, but you can't probably put one of your bigger, beefier linebackers on a Travis Kelce. You got to treat him with like a Ivan Pace or a Josh Metellus or even a bigger cornerback like Xavier Rhodes. I remember that was a thing, remember? And so that's what, some of these tight ends like a TJ Hawkinson brings to a team. It's not the old school but the Gophers, I think that's the thought is like, tight ends are the new wave. Like they are getting paid like receivers. And if you want to be able to, and it gives you the ability to come to the line of scrimmage with two tight ends, look at the front and say, okay, it's an over front, meaning the linebacker on the strong side is up, blah, blah, or you got a 5-man bare front, 5 down linemen, 2 linebackers. You can say, okay, let's throw the ball, split out, and now make one of these slow linebackers try to cover my athletic tight ends. You come back in, they switch, they're nickel, boom, let's run it. Now my tight end is blocking Byron Murphy Jr. And again, I'm not hating on Byron Murphy. I'm just saying smaller guy.
But the tight end's going to win that matchup, right? Or you hope he does.
Like if you ever seen the honey badger mic'd up, I don't know if you've seen that, but he's hilarious. But a big tight end tackle was coming towards him, and the only thing he did was just duck. Yeah. And he took the guy's legs. I think that's illegal now. This was like a while ago. But he just ducked and took the guy's legs out and still somehow tripped up the running back. But in his mind, he's like, look, I took on the lead block and I didn't just like get out your way. But that's what you do. You're like, hey, look, if I know Honey Badger's trying to cover my tight end, let's run the ball. Like he can't stop, he can't get through it, even though he did. He found a way. But, you take that chance in college. And I think PJ, Matt Simon, when you look at the growth in this, and Harbaugh, you look at the growth within this team and what's the next steps for them. It is that. It's the multiple packages. He's using a guy like Drake Lindsey, who's, 6'5", 230 pounds. He can sling it as well. So he is a prototypical quarterback. Like he's the prototype that, in 3-4 years, the Vikings might say, hey, let's draft this guy as our backup, or, the Packers might say Jordan Love can't cut it anymore. Let's get a Drake Lindsey in here, so. Again, 6'5", 230. Sorry about that.
That'll happen sooner than later, it feels like.
Or, who knows? Like this Caleb Williams bit might not go anywhere in the next 3 years, you know? But like Drake Lindsey has the prototype body. And for him to say, this guy looks smooth. This guy looks athletic, because the one thing I asked him too is like, he said Justin Jefferson, he said, man, everything just looks like he's like an aura. As the kids would say, plus 10,000 aura. Or he's aura farming. I don't know what the heck that is. But, he just said Justin Jefferson moves so smooth. And he's like, everything, he said every catch, one-handed, two-handed, everything just looks effortless. Like he's not even trying. And he's like, but I'm like, that's what he's earned. That's what he's
Is he the most versatile receiver in the game? I mean, it's kind of
him and Jamar Chase are 1 and 2. Yeah, they're 1A, 1B. Jamar Chase is probably a little bit faster, top end speed. But Jamar Chase has T. Higgins. He's had weapons out there to help. And he has Joe Burrow. Like, he has had the same quarterback since college. Yeah. So that's a big... JJ's had, like, Josh Dobbs. Oh. You know what I mean? Like...
Remember when Dobbs... Jefferson comes back from injury. I forget what it was.
And Dobbs threw him into the Wolves.
And he ended up... I think he had to go to the hospital.
He was spitting up blood.
In the Vegas game.
Yeah, it was like... I imagine the Dave Chappelle, Prince, Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy thing, where he was like, spitting up my own blood. He made me... When he kicked him in the chest... You make me spit my own blood up, What the 5 fingers say to the face? Ladies, show Charlie Murphy. But that's what I imagine Justin Jefferson being in the ambulance. Like, man, am I spitting up blood right? Like, this dude really just make me spit up blood? That's dangerous.
Yeah, and it was like an 8-yard curl route or something.
And he threw them inside versus throwing them on the numbers and keeping them stationary, because that's the quarterback's job. Like, if I throw it to your left, I'm trying to keep you away from the linebacker inside. If I throw to your right, I'm trying to keep you from the cornerback outside. And when I was in college and the pros, our thought was stop. If it goes to your right, go with it. If it goes to your left, go with it. So meaning Josh Jobs just threw him into danger. Yeah. Like Justin Jefferson probably trusted it. Like, he's not going to throw me into, here comes a train.
There's no way he'd ever do that, right?
He wouldn't kill me. And he killed him.
He tried to kill him.
Yeah. And so Justin Jefferson has not had a stable quarterback room. He goes from Sam Darnold out to J.J. McCarthy, he had Kirk Cousins, he had Josh Dobbs, he had Nick Mullins. He had Jaron Hall. It's just everything. And Jamar Chase has had Joe Burrow, a future Hall of Famer. So, in that aspect, if Justin Jefferson was with the Bengals and Jamar Chase with the Vikings, I think they both have the same careers, but we'd probably be talking about Justin Jefferson as, clear-cut number 1. Right. But then you still have A.J. Brown out there. Like, he's still legit. People are forgetting about A.J. Brown.
He's a beast.
He is. And so when you look at it, I'd say those are the top 3 guys, from there. And then, there's going to be some young guns coming up. But yeah, Justin, in my opinion, runs routes better than a lot of people. Him and Jamar Chase, though, are from the same cloth. Like, they're from the same school, same coaches, same everything. Like, I want to say, like gritty, about the same. I think Justin's gritty has a little bit more sauce to it, but
yeah.
Other than that, they're cut from the same cloth.
With JJ McCarthy, then, as he goes in, what are the types of things you look at in terms of? I mean, I'm not trying to project what type of season he has, but that is, as we look forward, I guess we're kind of doing that, where there are going to be mistakes along the way, but how can you tell that the kid gets it? Like, what types of things? I mean, is it he's great on money downs? Obviously decision making. You want to see, was it an interception based on aggression and trying to thread a needle versus he completely read a play wrong? Without having our nose in KO's cookbook, we don't exactly, we can't speak to exactly what every play was supposed to do. But in the end, like, what are things, knowing the game like you do, that you look forward to or will look at to determine, yeah, JJ, this kid's ready. This kid gets it. This thing makes sense. Versus, we have a problem here.
Yeah, my dad always told me if I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room. And so I love texting Keenan McCardell. I love texting Reggie Wayne because they're both receivers coaches in the NFL, and they see these quarterbacks every day and I always ask, hey, what is this? What is that? And so the things I get from them is like, can he throw a touch pass on a drag where the receiver can keep running? Think about Rondale Moore and his speed, and if he can stay healthy and, he has a chance to be wide receiver 4. Tate Felton, he's another top-end speed guy. Can you just drop it off in front of him on time so he can just catch it easily and go? Or do you throw the ball way too hard and you're making simple plays hard? Deep balls. Can you get it out of your hands so your receiver doesn't slow down? Do you know the timing? Do you know when to let it go? Do you know the difference in every receiver's speed? Peyton Manning used to get up every day and try to find 2 to 3 receivers to throw to because he wanted to learn every single guy. And how do you run? How deep do you go? What does your drag look like? What does your dick look like? And that's why JJ McCarthy was out there, this past, couple of weeks where he had all those guys in town and all the guys were coming back. And again, that's why I love the fact that he kept it on the low. Like it wasn't like highly publicized and look at us. Like they just quietly worked. But that's what I would look at. I would look at, are the simple passes simple? If there's a check, is he getting it? Like, is Kevin O'Connell looking at him with the what are you doing? What are you doing? People at home can't see what I'm doing, but I'm giving the hand gesture that Kevin O'Connell does when he's like, what was that? And then from there, it's just the reads. I mean, because we all know this is going to happen. Our first Monday night fan line, or Sunday night, whatever it is.
It'll be Monday night, yeah. Monday
night fan line. Dang, is it Monday? I thought it was Sunday. Because the next one's a Sunday then.
The schedule's not kind to us. We got a couple of international games, though.
Yeah, and that's 12 o'clock, 12 noon.
Yeah, we'll be doing fan line around lunchtime.
I like that. I have a little, tea and crumpets or something?
Yeah, we could.
Midday.
You can.
But with that fan line, we'll be talking, I love to break this down. Is somebody else open that he could have hit?
Right.
Does he understand what he was seeing? If it's 3rd and 6, does he throw the 4-yard out route? Or does he actually take the 8-yard dig route? All that little stuff is the stuff that I'm going to say, okay, he's having a successful year. If we get into this, and I hate to say it, Anthony Richardson. I broke down Anthony Richardson when the coach played the Vikings. He was atrocious.
Yeah.
He just could not see some of the reads sometimes. Like when he ran the ball, he was comfortable. When they gave him options to play action run, he was in this happy space. When they made him sit in the pocket, you can tell he just did not know exactly where to go with the ball because he was always a second late or always like, I should have threw it now. And I think that's where JJ McCarthy, and he even said this because I asked him, because Makari Page is my cousin, played at Michigan. He's now with the Giants, and him and Makari were teammates, and so that's how I always get the connection with JJ. And now Avery Thomas, another Michigan guy from my high school, Detroit, Michigan. He's here
from
now
MLK?
with the Vikings. Oh yeah. We deep. Cass Tech was Kobe King with the Cass Tech. So we got. Were
they rivals in high school?
Oh yeah. We hated each other. They still did.
MLK was better, of course.
MLK was so Kobe will tell you. You'll probably see him at training camp, but he'll tell you right now. Cass has 22 NFL draft picks. King has 21. So they have us by 1. But Dante Moore, the quarterback at Oregon now, he's from my high school, Detroit Kings, so he will be a draft pick. So we'll have our 22nd when he's ready to come out. So when you look at that, progression of those guys, and the biggest thing is what's the next, step for that with those guys? Like where do you go next with the ball? What do you do with this? And so can you read the play? And that's where I think, for JJ McCarthy is like that. Can he read the play? And if he can't, we'll know.
Yeah.
Like, we'll know. And we'll get the calls. People be telling us, like, we should never let Sam Darnold go. Or why don't we go get Kirk Cousins? Because Kirk's still on the street, right? Or, like, he's the Falcons, but.
He's still with the Falcons, but,
right.
no move has been made. So, he's still there.
I'd say we have a successful season if we're not getting calls talking about we should have never drafted JJ McCarthy. That's how I know we're doing well, too. If the fans are okay, then we're okay. But I'm guessing we'll get a lot of people saying, just relax. He's just a rookie. But you never know.
Well, we've been begging for the team to do this for a very long time.
Go with a young guy.
Draft a kid.
Yep.
Develop him and let it rock, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're a baseball fan, you're saying we begged for years for them to sign a big timer and like a Carlos Correa, and it hasn't really worked out. Buxton finally earning his paycheck at a super high level. Love what the Buck Truck's doing, but I'm very, like you said, I'm interested to see how the fans react to it, because we will be on Fan Line talking about how, hey, remember in the third quarter it was 3rd and 8 and you threw one short of the sticks, and then we're in did TJ Hawkinson run that route short?
Correct.
Or did the kid, he missed Addison.
Yep.
If he had just given another half-beat click to let Addison get loose, Addison's holding his arm up 50 yards down the field, missed a touchdown. There will be those moments. So it's almost like we have to brace and prepare ourselves for the growing pains with this kid.
I think Kevin O'Connell learned a ton from the Lions games this year and the Rams games. I think in the red zone, or the green zone, as Drake Lindsay and PJ Fleck call it, in the red zone, I'm like, just listening to some of these guys talk about the stuff they have.
Do we just have to call things different? Like they just call it the green zone?
It's the money. Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
we just have to be different.
Everybody has their things, you know. Like it's the green zone for them. I think what was his name? Grimm. It's the KSAIH or whatever, the KSAI.
Oh, the Case IH. Yeah, absolutely.
Green zone. Yeah, but I think does he say red zone or green zone? On the radio.
I think he says red zone.
Does he say red zone? Okay.
Yeah, and there was another, what is it, the Centurion long run, or Securian long run, I think it is what it is. Yeah, no, he's got all the bits.
So he does the red zone, not the green zone. But yeah, I mean, I think PJ just has his Fleckisms that he wants the team to kind of think it's green or going.
Did you ever have any Masonisms?
The Serenity Prayer, control the things you can control.
Okay,
that one. Don't, let the other stuff go. No, the only thing about Mace was like the blink of an eye. Like the difference between 3 and 8 and 8 and 3 is a blink of an eye. So don't blink. That was the one that was funny, because our freshman year we used to have guys be like, wait, can I actually blink, or is this like a metaphor?
Yeah, do I have to keep my eyes open the whole time?
But, we also were idiots back when we were 18 and 19. But yeah, no, that was the only Masons I think I had was the 3 and 8, 8 and 3 back. And people are like, wait, there was only 11 games, people, back then. But yeah, he used to always tell us that, like, if we blink in any game, we can lose it. And like Ohio State, that was the one, and Penn State, those two games I remember him saying, we're here, don't blink. And so we won, and we ended up winning those games. But yeah, that was the Masonisms. Other than that, Mace was just Mace. He, his biggest issue was Sid. Like him and Sid Hartman just like nonstop was a fun, like, like Sid would walk down the middle of the field during practice with his trench coat on and a little tape recorder, and Mace would just look like, does this guy think he owns the building?
He kind of does.
He did.
And he's always, he
just does what he wants to do.
Sid goes where Sid wants to go.
And Mace is literally looking like, why is he walking down the middle of my practice? Like, what is he doing? And Sid's like, I'm not walking around to go outside, He's just trying to get to his car. But that was Sid. He did. Like, that was my first introductory my freshman year, I remember. And I had no idea who he was. But I saw him in the trench coat. I thought he was like the owner.
Yeah, you thought it was like Tom Landry walking.
Like he just walked through.
Millionaire booster.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, and then later I got to, he interviewed me with his tape recorder. So I was like, oh, okay, there's a media guy. But yeah, no, I think I'm excited about this season for both the Gophers and Vikings. I think the biggest thing for me is going to be the next steps, because you and I have been doing this for 11 years now. For me, at least 11. You've been here for way longer. But it's been 11 years. And so now my kids grew up as a Vikings kids now, so they feel like I don't want to get too happy.
Right.
JJ McCarthy, it feels like they're doing what we said. Get a young quarterback, cheap. You can build around them, get all the money. Let's go win the Super Bowl. I was like, do we want to get too high though? Let's be honest. Let's be real about this. Let's wait and see. Because if they blow the Bears out, then win the next one, then win the next one. Because on Vikings.com, you can see what my predictions are. I already did like a too early prediction segment with the Vikings. But yeah, it's when I was going through it, I was trying not to wear purple sunglasses. I was trying to be realistic. I was trying to look at, potential pitfalls. And,
sure.
I didn't think about Aaron Rodgers being a Steeler. I didn't have that on my bingo card. So, we got to deal with that now overseas. But, and that makes our job fun, though. That's going to be fun to talk about Aaron Rodgers that week.
It is going to be sweet.
It's going to be fun.
As the schedule goes, that's what's going to happen. I mean, and this time slot, we haven't found
and Cleveland too, right?
We haven't found a loss yet. But I mean, you're gonna blow out the Bears on Monday night. Then you're at home with Michael Penix Jr. while Kirk Cousins sits on the bench, and then you're gonna house Burrow and Chase in your own building, and then you're gonna go overseas, like you said. I mean, you're just gonna run through the AFC North. You're gonna be 5-0 into the bye, and you're just thinking about 60.
I think I had them 4-1 in there. I just feel like one of those might be. I think the Bengals was the one that I thought could be the L.
It's going to be unbelievable how tough. Then you come out of the break. You got Philly on that first Sunday.
Right.
And I think people are underrating it. One of the toughest games of the year is going to be that short week Thursday at Harbaugh and the Chargers.
Yeah, that's the one for me that I feel like J.J. McCarthy could probably help Flores out a little bit with, this is what Harbaugh's thinking. A little bit. I mean, there's always the crosstalk of hey, if he does this, is probably what he's thinking. If he does this, is probably what...
I wonder how much that works.
It works a little bit. I will say that. Not a lot, but it does work a little bit because the mindset of a coach doesn't change. That's why people watch film. So for the people that used to say, stats don't matter. Tyrone Carter, remember he's always trying to say, stats don't matter. It's who any given Sunday. Idiot. It does matter because they are doing it. Not to call me an idiot. I call everybody dumb though. But it does matter, because he hated fantasy football. We knew that. He hated charge of fantasy football. He thought that was stupid. But I always say, man, there's tendencies in stats.
Sure.
Coaches are going to tell you a little bit about what they do. 3rd and 6. Here's most likely to play. 3rd and 8. And then when I started breaking down to TC, dude, think about your playbook. Think about what they told you to look for on 3rd down. He's like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
It's just the word. He didn't like words like that. You can't use stats and do that.
Yeah, digging into the numbers, understanding.
Yeah, but that's literally what coaches are doing. That's why people hate the word analytics.
Right.
Don't say analytics. We're not analytics. You are, though. You literally are.
I just remember after the Vikings lost to Philly in the NFC title game in 2017, John DeFilippo, who had been part of the Eagles staff, and he rolls into Minnesota, and it didn't work out.
It didn't.
From an offensive perspective, but it sounded like he had this big sit down and Zimmer's there, and I don't know if he's taking notes or if he's got somebody taking notes for him. But if you remember the 2018 season, the defense to start the year, and it really went through that Thursday, speaking of LA, I think it was a Thursday night game. We went out to the Coliseum, and Jared Goff, still with the Rams then, had a 4 or 5 touchdown game, threw for 400 yards, absolutely embarrassed us. We had Brandon Cooks being defended by Anthony Barr.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I remember that now.
And then Zimmer it was just a tearing up, nope. This is my play calling sheet. Right. This is after that great, tremendously informative and illuminating sit down with John DeFilippo. No, I'm going back to my 4-3 because I'm stubborn old ball coach.
Oh, yeah.
And then the defense changed.
Yeah.
And it progressed from there. What was that? Was there a Linval hungry fumble rumble?
Might have been Philly.
2018. It was at Philly. I don't remember.
Yeah, that was the oxygen mask thing.
Oh yeah. No,
either Philly or the Jets. I know it was a green
Linval.
team.
It was definitely Philly. Linval looks. I mean, he makes wearing an oxygen mask look cool.
Yeah, with the sunglasses. And, that became a little fathead for everybody.
Freaking plus. Well, hopefully, then that Thursday night game, if JJ's intel proves correct, I will stop worrying about it. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, man.
No, appreciate it. I'm looking for. Also, I want to let because I know I told him I would mention this, but the Northwestern Chiropractic Homecoming Symposium. I am one of the keynote speakers for that. So,
oh wow.
So I'm telling my story. It'll be in February, so after the season. So hopefully it's a good season. So they're actually going to do some footage of me during the season to kind of run for this. So we're it's almost like a Netflix type thing. We'll see how hopefully it's a good season.
Well, you still have your personal. You still have your personal photographer to take those. Instagram photos of you in the tunnel?
She only does small weddings now, so she doesn't come. She doesn't do games like that. But I am trying to. I'm talking to, like I said, the people at Northwestern. They are.
We need some Ron Johnson action shots.
Yeah, I think they're going to have somebody come out. I told her she can come out to the game. I'm going to hook her up with Fox 9 to try to connect and do that. But yeah, it's going to be a fun event because it's one of the Gophers. I think one of the Gophers or Vikings chiropractors is one of the keynote speakers too. So we're tying in that of how chiropractic worked on me because I have a neck thing, I have my knee.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Dave Olson,
Yep.
Dave Olson. So he connected me with Jason. Dr. Jason was their chiropractor for the Gophers and Vikings. And so he's been helping me with my knee, trying to get it doesn't bend flat. Like I can't even flatten my knee when I lay on the table. So he's been working on that too, trying to like figure out how can he like.
So even in bed at night, you're just sitting there with a leg up.
Yeah, it's kind of like bent. Yeah, it doesn't lay flat. So it's
You roll with like a pillow? Can you do like a
I'll put
underneath?
pillows. Like I'm like a pregnant lady. I like put a pillow between my knees or something and kind of like cuddle it like a person sometimes just to like, So yeah, so he's been working on that. So that's what I've been talking about that. And then I also go through my, my wife's breast cancer stuff. And life just throws stuff at you. Like today, my daughter had to get scanned for something and my wife had breast cancer. So we were worried about that. Thank God it was just an infection, but you never know, like it's just, you just don't think about that with a 14-year-old. And so Google
but everything's good though, right?
Yeah, everything's good. Yeah. Google is the wrong place to go. So I'm Googling it.
Are you kidding me?
But I learned from my wife, I can't just go into the darkness when stuff happens. Like I went into a dark place and just isolated myself. And so I've been making sure to talk to my daughter all week. Cause I'm like, she's 14. She can't go that by herself, And so that's what I try to like, and honestly, it made me like second guess like everything. Like softball wasn't important anymore. Like nothing was important anymore.
I hear that.
Cause my wife even said, she's like, weekend when you were coaching, you weren't yelling. I was like, yeah, cause I realized it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like it really doesn't. Like, yeah, she's good. Both my daughters are good. Like she's probably going to play in college. Like she's got the fastest home the first time right now that I've seen so far for her age group. She ran a 2.63. And so
lightning quick.
Yeah, the girl for the Gophers ran a 2.71. Piper Ritter told me that's her fastest, but she's a righty.
You got those athlete genes, though.
My wife was a track athlete.
Your wife was speedy too, right?
They get it from her mom. But yeah, like just even all that, like everything. I'm like, because we got new birth date rules for softball now, so the whole softball world is about to get flipped upside down this next year. Because
the cutoff bit.
Yeah, older girls get to come back and play 14U again. Older girls get to come back and play 16U again. So it's gonna get like it's gonna be some dangerous teams. We're gonna be one of them. There's gonna be some dangerous teams out there though, but we're gonna be one of them. Because I know, like, I've been personally talking to some dads that asked me, like, what is my daughter gonna do? Because they weren't sure, like, and we're staying put, but we are trying to find the best girls out there that want to play together and really go on the road and dominate. But honestly, after going through that little scare like this week, I'm like, because we didn't know if she'd have to have surgery or anything like that. And so, yeah, it changed your perspective. Like, and I prayed more than I think I've ever had, just like to myself. But I was like, I can't isolate myself because I don't want my kid to go through this by herself. So, but she did guilt me in some stuff. She's like, Dad, I might have to have surgery, so can I have $100? I'm like, sure. Yeah. Like, oh, Dad, can you make like blueberry lemonade? So I like went to the liquor store, got blue Ciroc syrup, and I went and bought 10 pounds of lemons. So I'm making like fresh squeezed organic lemonade. She got me.
No, that's what your kids do, man.
That's what they do.
They know how to get you.
Yeah. But it is what it is. But yeah, she's good. She's got to take some medicine. Good. And yeah, so I was just like, oh my goodness. But I mean, it's still just the anxiety and the stuff and stress. But I know for her too this morning, her hearing that too probably made her feel better.
Okay.
So yeah, because my wife last night was like, yeah, she got her appetite back. So, just everything. You just never know what's going on, and you just always I think everybody goes through life like, oh, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. You just never know though. It might not be.
No, it's true, man.
It made me realize nothing is important besides your kid's health.
No.
Like nothing else matters.
No.
It really didn't.
When that stuff shows up at your doorstep, man, the rest of the world pauses, right?
Like I had a UPS thing was supposed to come on Tuesday. I got an email saying it's coming Friday. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, who
I don't
cares?
care.
Doesn't matter.
I'm like, yeah, I don't need it. It's some freaking Yeti cups. Like
kids feeling good, wife's healthy. That's the atopic of life.
Now hopefully we can get this rain out of here before this weekend because the Northern Nationals is coming to Minnesota for softball for 14s, 16s, and 18s this weekend in starting Thursday in Prior Lake, Lakeville, Eden Prairie. It's like all over. So it's like 400 or 300 teams probably total.
Coming here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
From like 6 different states.
I thought 212.
Because the 10U and 12U was this past weekend was when I did my younger daughter, and we had 80 teams in ours and like 120. So it's 200 teams this past week. So the older girls, it's 3 age levels. So probably 240 probably teams from across the country coming here. So yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with me,
212 is going to be, well, good thing it's in Prior Lake though. So it shouldn't, well, Eden Prairie, it might bother Eden Prairie a little bit because you got Eden Prairie is doing 16s or 18s, I think. So
it's so good to see you. I'm looking forward to the great escape of the 2025 Viking season, doing Fan Line. And I'll see you out at camp, man.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't have anybody calling us trying to just be done with the Vikings.
Yeah, no, well.
Was it Dave Irlack?
Oh, now we're mentioning names. And yes, it's Dave. And just calling in from Italy.
Meat Sauce calling in.
Just wanted to let you know.
To either be happy or mad about something.
See, I like the drunk callers. I think I'm genuinely amused by it.
Monday night we'll get some. Yeah, and Sunday night we'll get some for sure.
I'm sure the corner office does not want to hear me say that, but I appreciate it.
Swedberg, I've seen Swedberg tweet. He likes some of those too.
Well, they're
annoying.
He's a rube at heart. He's a rube at heart. He's mad we didn't draft 5 offensive linemen in the draft, but he'll get over it.
I see him tweet like, "Did you hear what that lady just said?" Like,
no, he digs it. Absolutely.
She was at the Coldplay concert.
That's Ron Johnson at 3 Ron Johnson via X. And we'll continue, whether it's text messages. We got some news to wrap up the middle hour here. And then Lavelli Neal III will be in studio at 11. It's Nordo in for PA on the Fan with a cash giveaway opportunity.
That's right. The Fan at BigDeck.com. I'm going to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Head to KFAN.com. The keyword is money for this hour. Keyword money, KFAN.com. Keyword Bonus Bucks is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. To enter keywords and learn more at KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is presented by BigDeck.com.
Via the text line, we gotta catch up here. A little fist bump to RJ at 3 Ron Johnson. Text line, Blakemore Button Bar. What does that dig look like? And I guess I don't know if it's a covenant cleanup that's required. Maybe just a covenant. Let's be specific. Let's make it clear. Covenant clarity. Dig.
Can I play it?
What? Oh, you have it?
Oh, you think I didn't? You think I didn't grab that?
All right, let's hear it.
Every single guy. And how do you run? How deep do you go? What does your drag look like? What does your dick look like?
It's more problematic than I initially thought. Probably required even asking for clarity on the spot.
Yeah.
Can we get it?
I had my hands up. Like, are we not going to talk about this?
Can we get it? Can we get it one more time,
yes.
please?
How do you run? How deep do you go? What does your drag look like? What does your dick look like?
Yeah, that's a real issue.
He said dig.
You did say dig, yes. As in a dig route.
Yes.
As what was referenced.
What does your dick look like?
Yeah, that's... We're gonna need some. We're gonna work on our enunciation. We're going to. Here's what we're gonna do. We got news around the corner, and then we got Lavelle coming in studio at 11 o'clock. We're gonna work on some clarity. We're gonna work on enunciation, and we're gonna figure out how to speak. Is what we're clearly. That's awesome. That's Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson. Whether it's Fox, Gophers Immortality, Fan Line, Partner in Crime. Ron Johnson. Here 9 to noon. When we return, though, yes, we'll get to news and then Lavelle at the top of the hour right here on the Fan.
Drag look like? What's your dick look like?
Brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. Embarrassingly, I was kind of looking forward to maybe bringing my kids to Canterbury this weekend. Just happens to be the one weekend that they had a massive, I think it was like a rodeo event, something going on. So I wasn't able to get there. This weekend's a new weekend. CanterburyPark.com is a spot to go for the live racing calendar, typically Wednesday and Saturday evenings, family days on Sundays. Sometimes they throw a Thursday in the mix. They got cool bits, cool deals. They got Dave's faves, so you can hit a pick 5. And that's after you feel the felt with poker, blackjack, table games all year round, having sips of chips and tipping Derek Allen nicely. CanterburyPark.com. Where are we headed to first, Brett?
Number 1.
We'll go here. Losing to the Rockies is never a good thing, but they didn't come out empty.
Lewis a home run today. Can he add to it? You bet. Royce Lewis, a 2-homer game. So Royce with 2 hits today, 2 home runs. He entered the game with 2 homers all year, has doubled that total on one day.
Corey,
Yeah, so losing the series, he still wins 7-1. But now, if you thought the Rockies were a little bit of a frying pan, you're now into the fire. You get to play the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Festa festering on the mound. Your Twins record 48-51.
Yeah, I got there was a text message that asked. I gotta find this here. Tim in Rochester asked about waiting until. He said a very unkind thing about Rocco Baldelli. That was the first thing. But then why wait until Sunday to start Ryan after throwing only 1 inning in a week's time? So get that momentum. I don't mind the sentiment from Tim at all. And we'll talk about that with Lavelle. But getting Ryan in the finale, the first competent pitching really of the entire weekend. Paddock allowing 4 in the first inning, and that was you were destitute after that. And then in the 10-6 game, you're happy that Zebby Matthews is back. You're not happy with what you got from Zebby, and just kind of putting the bullpen in a bad spot. But in my conversation with Lavelle, kind of just how they're trying to kind of string this thing together and work through an unhealthy and frankly kind of a bad. I mean, they don't have any options or answers that are coming from St. Paul. So what you're seeing is Zebby Matthews, that's the answer. Finally getting healthy, he gets an opportunity and gets rocked a little bit on Saturday. Paddock, he's only getting W's. This team's really only getting W's if you are on the offensive first. If you are asserting yourself at the plate and just allow him to get to the 5 and fly mark. And Simeon Woods Richardson has been, for the most part, really good in his last 3 or 4 starts. You dig that. Festa has been competent, really good a couple of starts ago, but he's been good the last 3 or 4. So you have all that, but then you're just sweating every one of those moments in between Joe Ryan opportunities. So you got everything with this team has been, here's what we thought in March, here's what we have in July. And it couldn't be more frustrating to come out of the break knowing how putrid the Colorado Rockies are, knowing the opportunity that you have there to string together a couple of wins, win a series, get back over 500 as now you head to LA and you're facing Ohtani tonight and they're working him back, of course, from injury. Maybe he gets 3 innings, maybe he gets 4, who knows, we'll see. But they've been really short shifting him in 2025, at least from the mound. But the opportunity you had, and you're in this grind among 6 teams in a bottleneck for a wild card spot. And you absolutely leave and you head into a Monday with a bitter taste in your mouth over what you continue to see from this team. Now, the highlight you played, that's cool. Royce Lewis.
Neat.
Has he come back to life here? And again, what you expected in March, what you're seeing in mid-July. Can Royce Lewis be competent at the plate again? Can he be one of your big 3? Correa had a pretty good weekend at the plate. Wallner hits a home run yesterday as part of the lopsided win, but it just feels like every 5 days you're going to see a Joe Ryan performance that you love, and you're going to see a Twins victory or a favored Twins operation in that scenario. And then you're just going to be holding on to your butts for the other 4 days. It's brutal, but it was good to see Joe provide his performance going 7 strong. You needed every one of those innings to take some legs off of the bullpen, as you will probably be seeing a lot of the bullpen the next few days in LA. So disappointing. They're an awful team. The Rockies get their first freaking home series win of the entire season. Because you guys didn't show up from the break ready to rock. It was bad baseball. But again, 1 out of 3 is bad, but they do get the lopsided victory yesterday.
As texter guy, Bismarck guy says, you shouldn't need Joe Ryan to beat the Rockies.
Yes.
And
that is accurate, sir. That is correct. That's why going into it, just talking with Bonus on Friday in studio is, like, I was looking at it as an opportunity. This is a cool way to start the second half sprint with what should be gimme opportunities that you are. I think they were 4 or 4.5 before the game started on Friday. But you should feel like you're kind of spotting yourself at least 2 out of 3 in that scenario, and you're finding confidence in a park. I think I had some stat when I was talking with Bonus, like the last 12 home games at Coors Field, an average of like almost 11 total runs were being scored in these games. I mean, if we're looking for offense, man, we're going to find it. And they found themselves chasing, and you see the 10-6 score line on Saturday. But specifically in Friday, you were chasing from the jump because Paddock was just getting absolutely banged around the freaking park. And it's just, you see stuff like that, you kind of shake your head and you're thinking to yourself, thank goodness for training camp. Thank goodness for training camp. That's kind of where we're at right now. Although 9-10 first pitch, I just love seeing Ohtani. I love seeing the unicorn. Wow, what a bold take. Most unique and best player in baseball as it is at this particular juncture. So it'll be a cool series. Just don't get swept, please. Win one, make us feel like we got a chance.
Well, one more?
Sure.
Number 2.
Well, this was fun to watch.
Scotty Scheffler for birdie at 18 to get to 18 under par. The moment awaits. The tap in.
You gonna get it?
Scheffler. He's now joined the company of golf's greats. He is the champion of the Open at Royal Port Rush 2025.
Yeah, checks off another one of the Grand Slam boxes. He's only got the U.S. Open left to go. Wins the PGA earlier this year. Wins the Open, the British Open. And the same number, the stat that we keep talking about, Tiger Woods between his first major and his fourth, 1,197 days. Scotty Scheffler between his first and his fourth, 1,197 days. Now he's a little older. Scotty Scheffler's 29. When Tiger did that, he was 21. So I'm not sure if we're going to do, like LeBron was saying, the ring culture. If we go the major culture, because I don't know if he's going to get to 14. Maybe he will. Who knows at this pace. But it's still impressive nonetheless. And I think the conversation needs to be had as far as a run he is on in this couple year span. It's historic.
Yeah, he's been so dominant. And I still wonder, if you're within the golf sphere, you probably don't care about these things. And nowadays, everybody's getting paid. Scotty Scheffler, while not, whether he wins a major or not, he's going to probably make somewhere between, 30, 40, $50 million in endorsements, if not more. And so everyone's getting the paychecks because of what happened during Tiger's run and that evolution that took place. But I still kind of feel like when you're watching and you're sitting on the couch on a Sunday and you're watching the final round, just whether it was Sunday in the, Tiger in the Sunday red, and now in this case, a much more muted personality in general, I think, in Scotty Scheffler. Like, do you need that target at which to shoot? Do you need that, whether it's the hero or the villain? That really doesn't matter, but just the dominant force within a sport. But Scotty, despite all of the talent, and maybe there is technically player to player, maybe a little more parity, that the lines have been leveled a bit. Just watching him in a dominant performance. I thought the weather would turn, and I thought we'd be seeing some fat numbers. I thought we were going to see a bunch of 70 and everybody like Wyndham Clark. I mentioned him in the Open. He went 6 under on Sunday. Rory was kind of battling and trying to find his way there, just couldn't get on a run. And Fitzpatrick had been in the mix for a fair amount of the tournament and always kind of hung in there, but was never really close enough. From China, Hao Tong Li was terrific, specifically on Thursday and early on, but he had trouble, again, finding his way. So it feels like there's just so much more overall average skill, and the average player is maybe more game than 15 or 20 years ago. But Scheffler still rising to the top through all of that. And somebody did post me, they sent me the picture on X of his mugshot. It is gorgeous. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic. That does indeed, Paul, need to be on his HOF bust, even with the chest hair. You can't forget about the chesties. That is News du Nord, and it's brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. And you can learn more about the live racing schedule, poker, blackjack, and table games all year round. Lavelle told me he was going to be potentially a few minutes late. We're going to pause. We're going to come back, and I believe we'll have Lavelle Neal III, Star Tribune, StarTribune.com, in studio as the final hour begins, 9 to noon on the Fan.